Welcome back to the IESF Central Asia Dota 2 qualifiers, joined by the sensational duo of, well, myself, Waxen, and formidable Black Dota. Do you still go by Black Dota, or are you just Black Dominic these days?
Whatever works, honestly. Throughout my very seasoned, storied, amazing, legendary career, I've gone through many different names, I guess. Not like I chose them for me. People just called me whatever they want. Little B-God, Black Dota, Salvation, you know, in China.
Salvation? Oh.
Which means little B-God in English.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because Burning is, of course, older than me. So he's the B-God. And my
playstyle is
very similar to Burning, so I'm little B-God. You know?
Of course, no, that makes perfect sense.
And there's a picture of us like hugging, and it looks like I'm just hugging my dad or something.
Can we pull that on stream? Maybe not today, but I think that would be hilarious.
I have to find it first anyway. I look like such an excited little boy, you know, like yay.
Let's talk about the second game of today, Black. We've got Kyrgyzstan facing Turkmenistan, as we have, well, the favorites of this Central Asian qualifier in the Kyrgyzstan side. You just had the pleasure of seeing them on stream up in action, and Turkmenistan, unfortunately, off stream, got, what's the best word of saying this? Obliterated by Uzbekistan. So I personally expect this to be a pretty one-sided affair, unless that was Turkmenistan's first game and there were some nerves there. Maybe they weren't ready. Maybe they got cheesed by Uzbekistan. And hopefully, now that they already had the experience of playing versus a arguably much better team, they have used the last, well, half an hour or so to learn from that and maybe apply something different in this upcoming matchup.
It's going to be tough either way. Kyrgyzstan, as you said, big favorite. Turkmenistan already got shellacked by the second big favorite. So arguably, Kyrgyzstan should be even better on paper. But of course, it doesn't mean much. You know, games can always be longer or shorter depending on how fast the team decides to give up.
We're now looking at the roster of Kyrgyzstan. I mean, we just saw them in action. Arguably, we said they had, what, 3 players that were at least deserving, maybe 4, mentioned for MVP. So with Zayat is not the one on the roster today. I believe we had Sunset, Max, KT, Zodiac, and I don't think Kami was playing either. I just realized. Was Kami playing last game? No, he wasn't.
So KT is actually... Kami is the carry for sure. So KT was actually playing the carry role, which is I think he's usually supposed to be in that squad, at least to be the off lane. Does that mean they have 2 stand-ins right now, actually?
Very well might mean that much, as we're now looking at Turkmenistan's roster, a roster that we're not familiar with, making their debut here on stream today, Black. It's going to be any Sunlike, Vikus or Vikus, Akami, and Panda. I gotta say, I believe Akami does ring a bell, but similar as in the first game with Kazakhstan, Ethereal is also one of these rather used nicknames in competitive Dota. So it could be someone that has had attempts at becoming a tier 1 player that reminds me of someone, or just a common nickname. Realistically speaking, Black, if Turkmenistan lose this matchup versus Kyrgyzstan, statistically, I don't think they have any other chances of making it, because there's only 2 slots, and if you lose 2 games, a lot of ifs need to happen to go into a massive tiebreaker.
How many teams do we have here in this region? Is it 4 or 5?
We have 5 squads in the Central Asian qualifier.
So 5 squads, that means 2, yeah. But the thing is, we're not expecting the other 2 teams to drop one on one map. Because either Soneko's team or Kyrgyzstan, well, if everything goes to plan, they're only going to lose 1 map, which is when they play against each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you lose 2 matches, you are realistically not out 100%, but statistically not out 100%, but realistically, you can.
Exactly. So I like that. Statistically not, but realistically, most probably. As off stream, at the same time as our action is taking place right now, we believe we will have Kazakhstan versus Tajikistan. Tajikistan with their first matchup for the day. And then we will have the pleasure, I believe, of casting them next on stream versus Uzbekistan. So for everybody at home, we already saw one of the favorites. Now we'll get a chance to see them twice. After the second game, final game of the day will be Soneko's squad of Uzbekistan up in action. So you can stay tuned for that as well, as we are just moments away from getting into this best-of-1 draft. And at this point, I gotta say, Black, I don't think the draft matters, the meta matters that much, as I just want Turkmenistan to play some heroes that they're familiar with.
I think you're spot on. Do what you're most comfortable with. That will give you the best chance to just play in your own sort of home turf. Kyrgyzstan is going to run at you. They're not going to respect you. And no offense to anyone, but they're not going to respect you. So you have to make use of that and really play into that. Like, they're not going to run in with all the numbers they can. You will probably be able to outnumber them quite easily. Do that, punish their aggression, and maybe you'll have a chance at actually making this a serious contest. Because Kyrgyzstan, we know their players. They're a bit cocky. We just saw that as well. Like, they're behind enemy towers at like minute 5 and stuff, where they really shouldn't be. But,
I mean, they are a young squad.
You can get away with a lot of things if you're that good at the game.
They are a young squad. This often happens as the younger you are, the more confidence or cocky, like you said, you are. And I gotta ask you, Black, what's up with this Broadmother constantly banned by Kyrgyzstan? Again, second game, they are sticking to it. Shadow Fiend was also their second choice of ban last game. And yes, Brood has a very interesting win rate over the last few days, especially in Immortal Plus bracket, with 55% win rate as a carry and 54% as a mid laner. But I still don't really think the hero is going to make its way into competitive Dota just yet.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it has what it needs to be a really good contender. I'm just thinking about, like, her passive is pretty damn strong. Like, you can't fight her almost at all. Every time you get hit, you have a massive mischance. You take a ton of extra damage from your spiderlings. It's a very strong hero, but what makes it like a really strong contender, especially as carry in this meta, so many off lanes just bully the safe lane. But as Brood, you just self-sustain yourself throughout almost anything. You get 2 levels in Web, 2 levels in Insatiable Hunger, and suddenly, no matter how much Harris they throw at you, you just sustain through it. Tiny and Darkseer. Interesting opening from Kyrgyzstan this time around with the Darkseer. Not something we generally see.
You know what that is? That is a hero that was banned in the first phase last game. They took it out first, and yeah, now banning Venomancer, Turkmenistan is allowing the Darkseer to be picked up, so it's gonna be an instant grab, as Turkmenistan will still answer with the Tiny.
The Tiny, it's a classic. Still, I don't like it nearly as much as a support as a core. So
yeah,
please,
same.
Please pick it as a core. Use it as a core. Whether it's mid or carry, I don't mind either way. It's really strong. But I think as a support, it can work in select games, but it's not that easy to make work.
We saw that last game. We saw that last game. I mean, the Tiny played well, but it was very hard to make it work. As we talked about Tiny Slardar, I mean, this is kind of in the same ballpark if they want to put in support to Tiny Centaur, Toss, Hoofstomp, I guess. But I hope it feels like they're getting baited. Teams are getting baited by this Tiny facet, and Kyrgyzstan does not care. It says, you want strength heroes? Well, let us take your strength away with an Undying.
Well, I said Undying last game. They chose to go for the Elder Titan. Now they go for Undying, and Centaur absolutely hates that guy.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, like if they put this, it's never going to happen anymore. But if they were to put these 2 heroes offline against Undying, he can 1v2 them. Pudge.
Wow.
That's such an anti-combo too. Tombstone plus...
I gotta say, Black, this is your prediction. You called it. You said they're gonna be disrespectful. You said they're gonna be in your face. And with this opening draft, what else is there to say? This is the definition of in your face. And Turkmenistan, maybe Necro?
Dire team pick.
Lifestealer, fine. I guess there's a slight similar process. He's quite natural, good at eating these big, beefy heroes. Has the rage to run away or turn and fight through the Iron Shell, but also gets quite countered by the Pudge. It's a dubious one,
remaining.
but again, maybe they're confident with that.
It's a strong hero.
Seconds
You have
remaining.
the bombs as well already with Tiny and Centaur. It makes sense that you picked it. I'm predicting something like a Spirit Breaker, probably as a Darkseer partner, and that hero
Nice.
also kind of ruins Lifestealer. So that would make a lot of sense.
That would be sensational. I would love to see a Spirit Breaker here, and it would absolutely dumpster this Lifestealer in the mid game.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest counters in the game for sure.
What about the Weaver? We haven't. Oh, it's banned out. Never mind. It's gonna be the Vengeful Spirit from Turkmenistan, but this is not gonna be a carry Venge.
Oh wow, they don't even think about it.
Instant reply with the
I mean-
Morphling.
Morphling is the #1 hero probably against Lifestealer. You just become him and you rage, but then you're a Lifestealer with like 300 base
10
damage
seconds
rather than
remaining.
100.
Would you say
Makes perfect
Morphling?
sense.
Would you say
5
Morphling's more of a
seconds
Lifestealer counter than the old Razor?
Dire team ban.
That's a tough one, but at least against the old Razor, you kind of had an answer. Whereas
Okay.
Morph just morphs into you, and then there's no answer anymore.
And then you start crying.
Dire team
Exactly.
ban.
Like you actually fight him 1v1, and Morph is like, yeah, come. And then after like 2-3 seconds is usually when Lifestealers realize, oh crap, he has low HP, a ton of armor, and a ton of base damage. I actually don't leech any life. I better start running. But then your rage runs out, and he shoots the thing in your
10 seconds
you
remaining.
know, into your path. We want to stay 12 plus, of
5
course,
seconds
PG 12.
remaining.
And yeah, you're done. Vengeful Spirit, interesting. I like the hero as a support, probably not as much as a core. Same with Tiny, but there is like some obvious benefits. Easy save against the Pudge, BKB disables.
Wave
It's
of
good.
Terror is great here. Wave of Terror is really good here.
Radiant
Yeah,
team
Wave of Terror,
ban.
especially with the talent. What was it? 11 armor, 10 armor, something.
I think it's a bit.
ridiculous.
I think it's a bit more than that. I believe the 11 armor is the Pangolier these days. I think Vengeful might be more with the talent. It's in the same
Maybe.
ballpark still, and it's AOE as well, and it has such a low cooldown. It's a great spell. I think Vengeful now obviously got a bit nerfed. As a support, Magic Missile has a less duration,
10 seconds
1.1
remaining.
seconds at level 1. But it could be an offlane
5
Venge, right?
seconds
And
remaining.
I guess you had Centaur already. You can't run offlane Venge with a Centaur support. That's
Dire
mental.
team pick.
Wait, and Storm? Dude, that line
Wow.
was cooking.
How
So
did
it's
Storm not
support-
get banned out, Black?
It's a 4 Pudge, 5 Undying, and a free Storm game.
It could be a 5 Pudge.
10 seconds.
It could be a
I
5
think
Pudge.
I think I would rather have Undying with Darkseer. And Morphling is
5
quite good at
seconds
self-sustaining
remaining.
versus a Centaur tiny lane.
Well, I'm hoping it's a tiny mint, and they pick another 4.
I hope so too, but I don't. Oh, okay.
Your hero.
We got a bit of a
Nixie boy.
spicy one, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be Panda on the Nyx Assassin. And Nyx does actually tick a lot of boxes that Turkmenistan would do. I also believe it's something that we don't often see, realistically speaking, Black, but is good. Spike Carapace counters every single hero on the side of Kyrgyzstan.
It is very, very insanely, and I want to emphasize it a bit more, incredibly greedy as a
Absolutely.
support. Centaur, Nyx is an awful lane, and Morphling is going to free farm the crap out of that. Especially with Undying there. I don't even know what Centaur is going to do, actually.
Hey, Turkmenistan is here to enjoy themselves playing on stream for the first time this year, Black, and I'm all for it. They are showing us their lovely sets, and the fact that they've got like these quite beautiful looking cosmetic items, maybe this is their specialty. That's what we called. We said, you know what? It doesn't matter what the meta says. It doesn't matter what the matchups say. play something you're comfortable with. And if Panda is an expert on Nyx Assassin, let us see it. Bring it to the table.
Hey, it can work for sure. There's so many games I carried from a +4 with Nyx Assassin. It's probably the best carry support there is in the game, honestly. You get a couple of nice kills. Suddenly just snowball. Especially against heroes like Storm, you can instant kill them pretty much for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, and I think if this Nyx has a slightly decent game, even if you're falling behind in the laning phase, but then Nyx enables you to get 1 or 2 of these big kills, like you said, on the Morph, on the Storm, it can help you just completely offset and bounce back into the game, as we are now underway with Turkmenistan versus Kyrgyzstan.
Very, very right. And it's going to be Sunset on the patch. See if we can have a similar performance as it did last game, which is very hard to top. But a man can dream.
Do you think this undying innate ability, Black, what's it called? The Dirge, the ceaseless Dirge, that's the one. Is it a bit of a bait? Like you just respawn instantly every, what, 8 minutes?
30 seconds.
What do you mean by bait?
As in, as a concept, it sounds really fun and really good, but it doesn't really achieve that much.
Yeah, I think what they went with that is like he's kind of supposed to be just in the front line, and then maybe he can't get the tombstone off. TP's back into the fight right away after. I don't know. It's definitely not my most liked or loved innate ability. It's also a little bit. Oh, they're looking for a stun out of the trees and first blood.
Fabulous work being done here from Turkmenistan early on as we are theory crafting about the impact of this innate ability. Morphling.
He deserves that. Full agi when you walk into lane. Yeah, you deserve it. And he gets tipped right away by Sunset. I love that too.
I was complaining about the Vengeful Spirit stun being nerfed to 1.1 seconds level 1, but if you have a Hoof Stomp to add up on top of that, it doesn't even matter. As Turkmenistan will be more than happy to see how this, to see this first blood going in their favor. Mid matchup, Tiny versus Storm Spirit. We said we wanted to see this Tiny be a core, and is ERD going to have any lane versus Zodiac? Because it's a Storm Spirit. Nuking you out, he's a range hero. Static Slide already getting to work. Yeah, okay, Storm got nerfed a little bit, but not his laning phase. He got nerfed in the mid game.
Yeah, Storm's laning phase is notorious for this being super, super strong and oppressive and in your face. Such a hard hero to deal with, especially as a melee. But the good thing about Tiny is that it's like a fake melee hero, right? He can go range sometimes. He does a ton of damage.
What was that range hit? No, okay, that was not a melee hit in 1,000 years. Sunset more than happy to claim the kill onto any. You're a Vengeful Spirit. It doesn't hurt you that bad. You actually get reset back to base. TP up here, bring something to your carry if they farmed an item. So not the biggest loss for the dire side, Black. As bottom, look at Max completely zoning out this Centaur War Runner. Centaur actually has 2 last hits right now after 2 full waves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what we spoke about. Incredibly hard to lane against Undying and Morphing as well. It's only going to get harder as the levels go up, unfortunately. So we'll really see what he can do down there. And very interesting decision with the lifestealer.
Hook. Okay, Sunset is only level 2. He's not gonna have. They don't have any stuns here. Actually, they're trying to turn around and get some damage on top of this Podge, getting quite low in HP. 2 more right clicks will do the job. He escapes. No, Annie with the facet. It's the soul strike that he has for the Vengeful Spirit, despite playing its support. Still going for that melee right click behavior will allow him to get the sufficient damage to kill the Podge.
I'm surprised that Darkseid did not skill Surge there. He has a skill point open. He could have easily saved the Podge if he wanted to.
In all honesty, I think even Vacuum, which nobody does, who gets Vacuum level 1, right? But even Vacuum would have pulled the Venge away from the Podge for like, what is it, 80 radius. That could have allowed the Podge to escape. So Interesting, as right now they're just running at this lifestealer, but the damage coming in. Oh, what a miss! That's why he was holding on to the vacuum, but in the end, it's going to be a 1-for-1. Any level 3 versus 3, but he's tanking a lot of this Iron Shell, and now Alim will opt against diving the tower. Didn't quite know if the magic missile was off cooldown or not. So, I mean, the Vengeful is happy with the way this is unfolding, but look at the Avalanche tossing mid now, the rotation. It's going to be a beautiful Impale coming in from the Nyx Assassin to kill Zodiac, who has the first death of the tournament.
First death of the tournament indeed, and it wasn't even really greedy. He was pretty healthy, but the toss combo just did so much damage together with the Nyx Impale. Easy peasy, boy. Is that a solo kill?
Yeah, that is an absolute solo kill. It was a bit of a Kami's fault. Nice hook up top to save Alim. What the Centaur did there, and I really think it was not a bad choice, he was trying to 1v1 the Morphling, and I think he could have had the damage to kill this Morph, but he was tanking 5 creeps. So 5 Radiant creeps, getting damage on the Centaur. You are quite beefy, but plus the Morphling nukes, he ended up losing that trade-off.
Yeah, it's just always rough when you play against Morph. Like, good Morphling players will always make you feel like you can do something, but then you really can't. So obnoxious to play against.
So far, so good. Panda on the Nyx Assassin has 6 last hits, helped with a beautiful rotation down mid to get the kill on Zodiac. And yes, he's still top of the last hit department on the Storm Spirit, but his progress will get slightly slowed down from that previous rotation. Beautiful hook shot up top. Meat hook on top of any. And now the Surge, the Rot, so much damage. Vengeful Spirit pops the Lotus, but Vacuum, it's going to be Sun-like, getting pulled into the hands of death by that Vacuum. I mean, sometimes you just gotta let your support die.
I also can't believe that he actually didn't skill Rage. He went for the other facet, not the HP one.
Wait,
this
what?
unfeathered one is actually... I mean, he's playing against Patch, so I guess he wants a status resistance, but the other one's just so much better, I think.
That is incredible.
Incredible in what way?
As in, I don't believe in it. As it's not credible. It's the opposite of credible. As hookshot will get dodged. Nice sidestep from Any there. And now Sunset is eating some of these right clicks from Vengeful plus Tower. But the Darkseer doesn't care. It's actually gonna... Okay, Sunset will sacrifice his courier to the gods of the dire side. Yeah, I mean, look at ERD just getting the last hit of the Tombstone in River. Huh. Sunlight gets hooked into double Iron Shell. As Sunset's Iron Shell just expiring on that contact. So much damage on the Lifestealer. Who, like you said, Black, would have survived there with the Rage.
Yeah, it's surprising. It's supposed to be a free farm lane for him. Getting pressured a ton, and now they're also looking for the Venge hook.
What a hook. A phenomenal from Sunset. Magic Missile comes in, but there's so many creeps under the tower. Any will die yet again. Oh, Avalanche. Perfect rotation from the mid laner, but look at the Surge. Will still get the kill. The toss is not going to do enough damage, and the slow from the wall of Replica.
Radiant are scanning.
2 for none. As they're really trying to get on top of this Darkseer, but it's basically impossible, and that's going to give Storm even more space in the mid lane. Slowly but surely, Kyrgyzstan doing what we know them best to do, just squeezing up the opponent and applying that pressure in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's getting very, very tough to really play these lanes. Morphling, as you said, he's completely self-sustaining. We're gonna get a little galvanized stack as well. Easy peasy there. Probably the bot tower as well. Morphling is going for Hand of Midas. That is very greedy.
Okay. That's why?
I'm not sure. Usually people buy Mask of Death or Morbid Mask, which is considered like the Hand of Midas of the morphs. I mean, if you're gonna go full Midas, why the hell not? Let's go full greed.
Never go full Midas Black. Come on, you know better than everyone that. But look at this mid skirmish. Undying overcommitting hook coming in from Sunset. Any just outside the rot range, but in the end, this is a very fast Pudge getting that another kill. I believe Sunset on the Pudge is already up to 5, no 6. Flash Heap stacks minute 8. This is a very good performance yet again from the supports of Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, and Lifesteal still has no rage. You see that? Now he's still the same level as the Pudge, actually lower level than the Pudge. Sunset again having an amazing game. No rage still, that means one dismember and you're dead. Might happen right now.
Has the ultimate, will pop the dismember. And look again, it's the double Iron Shell and the vacuum to secure the job. ERD though coming in, nice avalanche toss onto 2. A wall of replica to slow down, but Annie's trying to do everything in his power to get the kill, and it will allow ERD to get that kill streak. Turns around Sunset though, he's so big, has another hook shot, but the toss will land. And Nyx Assassin's there as well. No, the creep died me there to the rot. Sunset is dodging, has avalanche. Double kill for the dire side mid laner.
Yeah, that ward gave away his position. Easy peasy kill for the Tiny. He needs that net worth badly. Almost blink dagger now for him. See what he can make happen with that, because he's gonna have to move around a lot and get a lot of things done for his squad. The Midas is already up on the Morph now as well.
This Centaur has 25 last hits, Black. He's almost getting out last hitted by the Nyx.
It's a tough one against the Morph.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Smoke up.
is under attack.
They almost have the blink. ERD will have it in 6 gold. They smoked up before the blink gets purchased / delivered. But if they can get a few more kills on the Storm Spirit to completely shut down his mid game, it's not going to put Turkmenistan in first place, but net worth wise, but it will look much better. Nice avalanche, slowing down Zodiac. But more importantly than slowing him down there is baiting out the Tombstone and stealing the regen. Zodiac would have loved to get his hands on that juicy regen rune. Look at Panda. Gets clicked. Oh my goodness! Catches him off guard from the Vendetta. And now the Storm Spirit as well. What is Zodiac doing under the tower? That wasn't even a swap. He dove for that using his ultimate.
Yeah, maybe it got tossed in. I didn't exactly see what happened there. But nice kill onto the Morph. We spoke about that, right? His health pool is not the highest. This is definitely a game where Nyx can excel and shine in. He's going for the Dagon straight away. And that could be a very interesting one. Okay. If he gets it at a quick time, he's going to burst those heroes.
Turkmenistan is a squad that lost in 21 minutes last game, and now they're playing versus the big titans of the region in Kyrgyzstan, and they're making this very entertaining in the first 12 of this one. And look at it, Vendetta again. Oh, it's actually off cooldown. He's smoked up. Vendetta is going to be coming in 10. Kate now farming way more, but look at the jump. Avalanche. Toss coming in. Nice impale down to half HP. Magic Missile. Only 1 TP coming in and Stampede to run away. Look at Alimka. Wants to connect with the wall to more than one player. Nice turn into the Tiny, throwing it on top of the Centaur, and now the wall of replica does so much slow, but then turning around, the Nyx is there as well. Double impale and the Darkseer will fall. Kate just wants to get something in exchange, and stealing that facet of landing the toss for extra damage will allow him to get a double kill.
And double kill for the Darkseer as well. Nice galvanized stacks for the Storm, turning around a fight that didn't look great initially, but nice spell uses, especially by the Morphling. Well done. And Lifesteal still looking to farm his Radiance. Oh, might get dismembered here. We have a waveform. Careful, careful, careful.
Nice blink in.
I think you're dead, Sunset.
I don't know that. I mean, this...
Wait, they actually don't chase. Yeah, the Morph kind of deterred them by clicking on them.
I mean, Sunset is also so tanky right now. Full Tranquil. I believe a Bracer completed as well, if I'm not wrong. No, just a wand. But having the Occult Bracelet, which gives you 5% magic resist and the 8 flesh heaps, it's quite a big support to kill at minute 12.
Or the hook. Close. Close.
And he's done a really good job of sidestepping these hooks from the Padre, I gotta say. This Venge will only get caught once, I think, up top. Otherwise, he's always very aware with the movement, which is a good sign.
Nyx is coming for you. Oh, if he finds the morph, Morph is still... decent edgy morph. Oh, he's very low health.
Panda? Not again, Panda.
Oh, there's a sentry ward there. Oh, he knows. Yeah.
Stampede gets popped because there's action in mid, and now we have a vacuum wall avalanche toss, but the Storm Spirit is the first to fall, and now the Lifestealer just wants to get out of there. That was a lot of the teamfight spells used by Kyrgyzstan to just lose a mid laner.
Got bursted down pretty easily, huh?
Absolutely.
Not really respecting the Blinktaker Tiny too much. Yeah, I mean, we've said it, right? Like, they're probably not going to play like they would play a TI qualifier. There's a lot of work. Well, not a lot of work, but I just kind of what we expected. Morph is going to keep farming KAT, kind of like they did in game 1, while the others try to make as much space as possible, fight as much as possible. But yeah, Storm is not having the best game. 0-3, actually 0 galvanized stacks. Haven't seen that in a long time.
Look at the Nyx. He's just farming in the mighty mines up top. Well, his team is actually the one smoking up without him. Because he really wants to get the Blink Dagger. That was going to make him a killing machine as soon as he has it. Needs to kill, I think, another neutral camp for that. Or no, he has it flying in right now. So we'll be joining up with his team. Let's see if they have another smoke to use now. He just pops Vendetta solo. And, I mean, other than the Storm, you can... On the Morphling Store, you can only kill the Storm. I don't think he can pop Sunset using all of his utility by himself. It's got to be the Storm or the Morphling. The other three are very, very beefy. And look at Alan, even buying a cloak on top of Greaves and Double Bracer.
I think that's a very good decision. Magic damage is basically the only way Nyx kills you. If you buy a casual cloak against a Tiny as well, nice hook. That's pretty much a free crap ton of HP. So I like that decision a lot to buy a cloak. Give me a galvanized stack, he says. I don't want to be at 0. Thank you very much.
Alan getting quite low at top. Was that the Nyx reveal with the dagger? I think it might have been.
Yeah, and you can see even with the cloak, it's so much damage. He had an infused raindrop too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Zodiac has an arcane rune. That's why he wants to go for more. One of the best runes on the Storm Spirit. Maybe only second to the region. Arguably, the region is slightly better at, especially in the mid game. And they're smoking up, trying to join up with Alem, who is very safely, well, farming aggressive in the opponent's jungle, and now they want to go for mid. They spotted someone, but who's going to catch who? Vendetta, going to break the smoke, and now Sunset pops up dust a bit too late. Look at Panda, very aware how to play this Nyx assassin. Almost walked into the dust range, but still undercover vision.
Oh,
dust now coming in. Hookshot actually connects onto the Vengeful Spirit as she was dewarding. And this time around, Annie will not be as lucky to get away as he has in the first 12 minutes, dying back-to-back right now on the support.
Ooh, look, he went for the Doxy all by himself. That's not going to work. He just forfeited his own life. Centaur and Tiny, the gang squad, both have Blink Daggers. He's very tanky with the cloak, though.
They don't have the damage. The Greaves is coming through as well, and now the vacuum turnaround finally will die to the second double edge, but they're turning on to Tiny, and the Orchid coming in from Zodiac. It's gonna be a 1-1 hook shot connects. It's the meat hook, Akami coming in with a hoof stomp, but will die as there was still an electric vortex available. 20-13 scoreline.
And if we're farming the entire time, the Morphling already sitting at level 14. Oh, the morph. Careful. Oh, man.
Panda?
Oh, is he baiting him? He's baiting him.
He's getting jebaited.
It would have been a dead morph.
Now the tip from KT coming in with the 5-head play. Completely just, outplaying the opponent. That was very nice from his side, especially if you're a Kyrgyzstan fan, but quite sad for the Nyx assassin, who's had, well, this is the second chance he has. The first one he converted, but he hasn't had one like that in over 6 minutes now.
Yeah, the Morph only had 600 HP. That was a guaranteed kill if he catches the right one. But nice heads-up play. Well played by him. We're going to see another hook attempt. The hook.
Connects yet again from Sunset. Tombstone up on the high ground, but they're really trying to turn around. Stampede is in cooldown for 5 seconds, and it doesn't matter. His silence. Swap will not protect him, and Lifestealer 1 between 3. The rage will run out and gets completely obliterated by the mid-hook. Zodiac double kill. 3 have fallen, and everybody on the side of Kyrgyzstan will get back up to 100 HP with the usage of the Greaves.
When the enemy tips your patch, you know what you do if you're playing well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Or the Morph again. No, this time I have a sentry. Ooh! Wait, where's the nuke? Okay.
Wow. I mean, the tips are flying back in. Obviously, after that debate with the Manta illusion earlier, it must feel good for Turkmenistan to get one back on them, as, ooh, Meathook would have connected, but Panda just stopped ahead of it, and he's out back to base.
Oh, Zodiac is next on the menu. They're not going down without a fight, that's for sure. Really make them work for it.
This is not... Turkmenistan is completely still in the game. They're not out of this black, and they've played way better than we thought they should have, especially as Kyrgyzstan has had a few missteps. With that being said, Sunset and Max are still playing flawless Dota. The duo support from Kyrgyzstan is really impressing me thus far.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Saves him. That was all planned.
Absolutely. Turn around, vacuum wall, and a dismember. We have the Impale coming in a bit too late. ERD will be the one to join the Corpse's yard as Sunset connects another double kill hook. Okay, it was only a Warpine Raider. I thought that might have connected to someone. 14 flesh ships. My goodness.
14 flesh ships. A rookie. Oh! That was a close one. And Panda's on the hunt again. They saw him though. They had a sentry ops down. They know exactly he's there.
Yeah, Storm was drawing on the map. You saw that.
Oh, there's a sentry there. You gotta be careful. They see him.
They want to jump on Allen actually on the other side. This might be a good trade. Nice. Toxic capacity. Turns around and no, the damage is not sufficient as Katie gets the save, and Alim vacuum on top of the high ground, jumping down in. The Darkseer will fall, but look at the jumping from Zodiac. He's full mana, full HP. The Vengeful will die. Sunlight tries to get at least a single kill, but look at the damage flying in from the Morph, from the... Oh my goodness! Again, Sunset with a triple kill. This time it's not the Rubik, it's the Pudge, but he feels like the star player of this team.
He's looking for more, maybe? No. Did not manage to find a center. Yeah, his hooks have been on point pretty much the entire time. We see a little replay here, happen off camera. To the Darkseer, who barely died. Almost gets away. Nice swap back in, but still leads to an amazing fight for his team, of course. That's some range right there with this member. Wanna see a hook? Hook! Okay, it's barely off the mark.
Very close to connecting there. Zodiac dies though to ERD. It's a 1-for-1. Only the support falling to the for the opponent mid laner, but Sunset doesn't care. Now they're jumping in and trying to burst him out. The pipe is coming in. The Greaves as well to heal, and a vacuum wall on 3-3. The Centaur just completely melts, and now we have a jump in. Sunlight tries to get the fight, and now right-clicking left, right, and center. Annie will die to the Iron Shell damage, and another hook will not connect, but will actually pull back the Darkseer. ERD alone gets pursued by Katie. Can this tiny blink away? Can he find any space to find? What is the range of that dismember? But okay, Nyx is not around. Katie got stunned by the neutral while he was morphing into Agi, but again, 3 kills for 0, and Kyrgyzstan is almost doubling Turkmenistan's kills.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they're having a lot of fun with it as well. Roaming around, killing lots of heroes. How many kills we did? 50, that's roughly 2 kills per minute overall. Very, very fight-heavy game. You're just gonna dismember him. Gotta be a little bit careful. Don't be too overconfident here.
Sunset is 11, 3, and 13. Okay. Dismember up the high ground. He was under the observer and the sentry. Impale will miss. Try to deal some damage. Vacuum up again, like you said. Hey ho, let's go. The Vengeful falls and so does the Centaur. Akami can't seem to get a single moment of breath as he dies. He died a lot this game for an offlane Centaur. Well, actually not more than any, who's doubling it with 13. But that is a support Vengeful. And I don't think they need Roshan at this point, Black. I think they could go and get a set of racks here. I don't see what Turkmenistan can do to, you know, kill a single hero of Radiant.
Probably you're right. And they might just do it because of how far ahead they are. But of course, the right thing to do is get that road for the morph. And you're super safe. There's no fear of throwing anything away. But yeah, they're so powerful right now. Hulk, ready off the mark.
The Iron Shell on the Undying looks very funny. I just want him to get his fresh golem yet again and have the giant Iron Shell when he turns into the massive Undying Black. Maybe get a few DK stacks on top of him as well to just be proper buffed up. I liked this ERD Tiny much better than I liked the Tiny that was support last game, I have to say. Sadly, he's also on the receiving end of a beating as he wants to get a BKB on top of his Echo Saber. But playing 17,000 gold behind is not a good look. At this point, if the Morphling disconnects Black, Kyrgyzstan would still be equal net worth with Turkmenistan.
That's a good way of looking at it. Oh, Lifesteal, what are you doing there? You're all by yourself. Remember, it's very short, of course.
That is the fastest he went for. Can he get into a creepy? Yes, he can, but is he gonna survive long enough? No, he's not. He's coming out. He's getting worked in the damage from Katie to just completely annihilate Sunlight.
Adaptive strike, ladies and gentlemen. Scaling of that thing is absurd. There's a ton of damage. They're looking for more. Looking for the Tiny too.
Woo! Lincoln Sphere's there, and the damage is gonna be enough. Okay, Morphling dies. It's gonna be a really good goal with 1,600 gold going in the favor of Dire. Panda now tries to run away. The vacuum will be there to stop his TP, and dying up close to him as well. Panda just kind of making space. There's no more stun, so he's gonna take the Twin Gate, but the damage is there. He does not need a stun if he just died to, well, all of that. By the way, Zodiac killed Venge as well.
Yeah, popped the Arcane Rune to kill him off screen there. Was a pretty easy, uneventful kill. Pudge now sitting at almost 3k health, almost got a Crimson Guard. So that's kind of what I like. Even though they're having fun, they're still building like very serious items. They do still want to close up this game relatively clean.
Yeah, and they didn't go for the racks. They went top and they got punished. Now they're jumping in and they're bursting out the Storm Spirit. But look at the survivability. The Pipe and the Greaves completely nullifying all that damage. And now ERD using his BKB to get out. But Zodiac doesn't care. He's jumping on top of the Lifestealer. The Stampede, though, for the turnaround. This Zodiac Storm Spirit, how is he still so healthy?
Eternal Shroud, baby. Eternal Shroud. What an item. Told you, I think this item has like Rave Pact implications almost.
Did it receive any nerfs that last patch? I don't think it did receive any nerfs.
Yeah, a very tiny one, not too big at all. Looking for the Undying. He can't even kill the Undying too because he has Magic Res. It's tough now for Nyx because everybody has magic resistance.
He's trying though. He's very close. One more likely. He's gonna do it. We underestimated the power of the Panda. In the end, he will trade his life, and Undying is back because, well, because of what we talked about at the beginning of this game, which is his Ceaseless Dirge, the innate ability. Undying hasn't died that much, so the first time he dies, he's back up on the field in an instant.
I kind of feel like you shouldn't be worth a bounty when you die this way, to be honest. To make it... I mean, it's 8 minutes cooldown. you know? It's like, it feels kind of bad the way it is.
I guess it's like good if you're in a meta where there's less kills, or like you're playing tier 1, 2011 Chinese style, right? There's no kills until minute 50. Definitely not in this game when we got 39 kills for one side and 19 for the other pre-minute 30.
Patch is looking for a fish here as well. Is he gonna get a fish?
What
He caught his own fish.
Panda just dies there, and that means there will be no more burst coming in from the Nyx for 40 seconds. The gem is also completed, well bought by the supports and given to the Storm Spirit. And now they're knocking at your door, and I think you might just have to let it go.
Ooh, that's a long range. Jesus.
Calm me, man. 50 seconds now, as the Nyx will respawn in 20. Central will be on the sideline, no buybacks. Pudge is quite at range. Out farming the opponent, off laner, 22,000 net worth ahead. And look at the jump. Zodiac does not care. Jumping in from sunlight there, fortifying the creeps and jumping on top of it. Tries to run away, but Max is there, and so is the rest of the squad. Can you get out of there? The haste gets popped, but the hook is gonna connect for Sunset. Zodiac will get it with another flying right click. Turkmenistan, you might have one more last chance when the Lifestealer gets back, but it's looking very, very dire.
I love KT. He literally is just going for it. He's just going to hit buildings. He doesn't really care much about anything else. Objective gaming.
Toss landing. KT very low. Well, he can morph up to 1,000 HP. And they're running out, jumping in. Sunset claiming another soul, bringing Annie to the death of 1,000 right-click damage, and they're going for more. This is unbelievable. Avalanche trying to keep themselves alive as the vacuum wall connects outside of the fountain. Hook gave the soul of the Lifestealer. 90 seconds, no more carry. They will get one consolidation prize by killing this Undying, but everybody else is slowly joining, and Sunset going in the fountain tries to get the hook, will actually not connect with it for the first time in forever. 28k deficit, minute 30 black, almost 1,000 gold per minute. Sunset is level 19 on the support Pudge, more than the tiny BKB hooked into his hands. Zodiac wants to claim this one, but Tiny's a beefy boy, right?
Beefy boy, but not beefy enough. Now the Venge comes in, dies again. GG is called. Pretty much what we expected. Again, like that. They're just too good. Right now, on a roll. We know how good they are. They're clearly having fun with it too. They're not playing seriously. They don't have their full squad either. There's just so many things that, you know, they're kind of like Goku. They have so many ankle weights and wrist weights and weighted vests and stuff. Once they take them all off, who knows the potential of this team?
I gotta say, Turkmenistan did impress me. Sadly, they were on the receiving end of a beating, but they played much better and for much longer than in their first series of the day versus Uzbekistan. And there were points where they did very well. They got that first blood by catching the Morphling by surprise. And there were multiple times when they were using 2 or 3 heroes, casting spells very well to catch the Storm Spirit, and even once or twice the Morphling. Yes, the Morphling died mostly to the Nyx, which was their final last pick, and it worked out at various points. But overall, I think there's a lot to learn from them, as this is, again, a qualifier where they are matching up versus Titans. Now, with that being said, if either Uzbekistan or Kyrgyzstan can get upset once, right, they will lose one game when they face each other, and if they get upset another time, Turkmenistan might still have a chance at tiebreakers. Is that probable? Maybe not. But that is the one thing they have to fight for.
Well said. I like what they did as well. The plan, like what I always hope when these kind of things happen, obviously that Nick's plan was very, very good. Like he caused so many problems for raiding teams. Itemizations were different because of him and his presence. Like if a tier 1 team or maybe a tier 2 team can take something like this into their own game, and like next time they see a Storm morph like this and they just pick a Nyx and maybe win with it, you know, suddenly there's a new, well, not maybe meta created, but it's a new problem again that's discovered. You know, so I really like these things and these answers they came up with because obviously it really worked. They were just outclassed as players and as a team, but strategy-wise, I had no issue with their attempt and direction at all. And as you said, they made them fight for it, and they definitely played better than they did in their first game as well. Which against a team like Kyrgyzstan, you know, hats off. You fought the Titans. You weren't expected to win. You did your best. That's all we're asking for.
As we're now taking a quick look at this highlights round, with one of the only couple of times when Sunset did fall. It was the back of a beautiful placed observer ward earlier on up to the Twin Gate. And I feel like this is kind of when the game started to slip out of their hand. I think they could have committed a bit more to killing Kate here. And because they didn't, the TPs, although slow, came in through in the end and enabled this Morphling to just come around. And yes, sacrificed two of his teammates, but ended up getting a full triple kill for his troubles. So, I think this Turkmenistan just kind of goes all in, kills Kate before the long duration TPs connect. This mid-game might have looked a lot different than what it was. Here, we already started to see the impact of the Greaves. Out-tanked so much and still fell in the end, but allowed Zodiac, Sunset, and Max to come in. Another beautiful meat hook onto the Centaur, who couldn't sidestep that one. And those were the two, I believe, most important skirmishes that made Turkmenistan fall so far behind that everything else from that point was kind of just a walk in the park for Kyrgyzstan.
And just the pace they were playing it, right? Like the heroes allowed them to be super, super fast. And yeah, they got a couple of pickups on the Storm, on everybody really. But that's just part of Dota when you're skirmishing so much.
Yeah.
And the speed at which Kyrgyzstan was playing at in this game in particular, it's very hard to keep up with when you're in the back foot. Like basically Venge respawns, comes back, gets hooked again, dies, comes back, gets hooked again, dies. Like the pace is just very overwhelming when you're just trying to settle yourself into a game and try to sort a little comeback, you know? But again, they tried their best and it's very admirable what they did. I love the strategic approach to the entire game, and I hope some team will actually take from it, learn from it, and copy it potentially, because I think heroes like Nyx, yeah, they're not really meta right now, but they have a place in certain matchups, and this matchup right here, it was definitely one of them. And you could see his impact just by how much the enemy had to itemize against it, and by how many sentries they put down, how scared they played around the map. I loved it.
Time and time again, we saw the impact of the Starks here. And like I said, yes, the vacuum walls were very much on point. The surges were great, and we see how much the damage has been done with the Iron Shell. But it was the Guardian Greaves and the Pipe that just kept the teammates and himself alive sufficiently for the teamfight turnarounds. And in the end, Dota is a game of who can be there for longer. If you can stay alive as much as possible, you bring more to the table to your team, and that's how your team will win the team fights. Whereas I believe for the side of Turkmenistan, we didn't even have a single mech. I think Vengeful went for a Glimmer Cape, and then obviously Panda went for the Dagon.
Yeah, well, you can't really play Nyx any other way anymore, I think. If you pick him as a last pick like this, it's a correct choice. He's basically just a full to zero nuker, right? And the way he did play that, like, he instilled a lot of fear into a lot of them. If he didn't get outplayed at one time, he would have killed them off even another time. No, he was definitely finding the right position, and he was finding very good openings for himself and the team. I really like it.
Are we going for the same MVP, Black? Because I mean, if there was a doubt at some point for me in that Rubik game that Kyrgyzstan had first played, I don't know if I have a doubt about this Pajra MVP now from Sunset. It feels like Sunset's my friend. I don't know the guy, the player, but he played so well and had such tremendous impact, and especially in the early phases of the game, that for me it has to go to Sunset. But what about you? Who would you give your MVP to? Zayat. Yes. Zayat, yeah. I assume so. I do assume so. But you know, the life of a Dota player probably better than everybody or anybody we could have right here, Black, to tell us how hectic it can get and how often, you know, things and plans change. As we have a quick look at the match summary with all of the stats and the beautiful numbers that we saw on display from none other than our back-to-back winners of the first few matches of Central Asia, Team Kyrgyzstan. And the one I really, really want to look at is this damage number, right? The total damage dealt. I believe we have that on screen. It's very interesting to see the fact that ERD on the Tiny did almost as much damage as all of the other cores of Kyrgyzstan. So despite him not having the best showing on the Tiny, the hero is so good, and the fact that he managed to get his hands on some items early on really allowed him to keep Turkmenistan in a game for a bit longer.
Yeah. How much longer to survive this time around? 31 minutes. Not bad at all. You know, if things just went away a little bit more, it could have even gone the other way completely. I love the itemization. I just love the way they played around as a team. Ultimately, Kyrgyzstan is Kyrgyzstan. We all know they still played with the food. Yeah, I'm going to give Turkmenistan credit for trying so hard. But ultimately, Kyrgyzstan, they didn't play at 100%. They were having fun with the game, which I really like. Kind of gave Turkmenistan also a chance to really have fun with the game and play with the game, enjoy their time on the stream, basically, right? And yeah, I think it was a good show that they put on. I was entertained, lots of fighting. It was very fun.
Also, Paj from Kyrgyzstan, Sunset himself, same level as the Storm Spirit and out-leveling the Darkseer through his involvement. So a very worthy MVP from our side, awarded to the stand-in of Sunset of Team Kyrgyzstan, who's right now looking as the prime contender to get the first slot into the Asian Championships 2024, Black. As I'm really excited to see when that matchup will happen. I believe it will be tomorrow when we get the equivalent of the grand final, right? Kyrgyzstan versus Uzbekistan. And I personally hope it's going to be a close one because, you know, the more great nation teams you have in the region, the better the region becomes. And the more pro Dota players we have, the more, well, we get to work. So that would be amazing. As that is going to be the end for the second series of our marathon of Team Kyrgyzstan. You could even say, Black. We will be sending it to about a 20-30 minute break, but that is not going to be the end of Dota 2 for today, as we will return with the final Central Asia qualifier series of the day between none other than Uzbekistan themselves versus Tajikistan, making their debut on stream. So stay tuned.